Go, leave your father's house, leave his lands, and go to a land I will show you. Go, because if you do, you will receive a gift greater than any you can imagine, a promise, a blessing. You will be made into a great nation, and all the people of earth will be blessed through you. This is the promise God gave a man named Abram, a man from the land of Ur, the land where humans had failed to make a name for themselves as rebels against their God. Out of these rebels, God called Abram and set him apart from all other people for his glory. Abram believed God, and he left. He journeyed to a land he didn't know, but he had no heir, no child of his own to carry on his family line, to claim his inheritance. God came again with another promise. One who comes from your own body will be your heir. A child, and not one child, but many descendants, so many that they couldn't be counted. As many as there are stars in the sky, and through one of these descendants, all the nations would be blessed. But how? He and his wife Sarai were old and had never been able to have children in their youth. How could this be? God did not tell him how, only that he would. A child would come, and so certain was this promise that God made a vow, a covenant. God commanded Abram to prepare animals for an offering, a 3-year-old cow, a 3-year-old female goat, a 3-year-old ram, a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. Darkness came, and sleep overcame Abram. A smoking fire pot and a flaming torch appeared and passed between the animals as Abram watched. The covenant was made. God would fulfill his commitment no matter what. Abram would have a child, many descendants, so many that they would be a great nation, and only God would bring this child into the world. And Abram believed. His belief was credited to him as righteousness, and he waited, trusting that the promise would come to pass. But he wavered. He and Sarai tried to fulfill the promise on their own, having a child with his wife's servant, a child who was not the promised son. He was a wild donkey, at war with everyone and everyone at war with him. But God did not abandon the promise. Though Abram's faith wavered, God would fulfill the covenant. And God came again, renewing his promise. And with this renewal came new names, new identities for Abram and Sarai. He became Abraham, the father of many nations. She would be Sarah, Abraham's princess. God's covenant would stand, and still stands. Abraham and his family would be set apart from the rest of humanity, chosen by God for his purposes and glory. Set apart to be the family through whom God would send the one at the heart of God's covenant with Abram, the child of promise, the true offspring, who would live and die as the only truly righteous person, perfectly obeying God's commands, rescuing and redeeming his people. Jesus, the one in whom God calls us all to believe, and our belief in him is credited to us as righteousness, the one through whom all the nations are blessed.